Hey guys, welcome back, or if you're new here, hi. How's it going? It is the end of June. Last week was high 90s. This weekend will be 90s. We have 80s today in Reno, Nevada. And we're planting because it's 2 weeks overdue. We had our last frost in the beginning of June, I think a week in, and luckily I had the greenhouse to hide everything in because everything was still in cups or trays. So let me give you a garden update and tell you what we're doing today. Today we are getting tomatoes in. Last year I did this by square foot. This was 20 feet long. I could have gotten 40 plants in here. This year I'm trying it out by 18-inch spacing. So yeah, this year the tomatoes are being spaced 18 inches apart. I'm not going to be pruning as heavily because it's an experimental year. I'm going to have, I believe, 26. I'm losing 14 plants in this bed as far as tomatoes go. Over here, down at the end over there and there is ground cherries. We're trying those out this year. This is eggplant I got in last week. I have a couple sweet peppers here. Ow. Sorry, my son is pulling my baby hairs on the back of my neck. Actually those are seasoning peppers. Out there I have onions, my first successful year with onions. Hey. I have 13 tomato plants in that bed. There's 6 on the opposite side, 7 on this side. That is an 8-foot bed. I have some eggplant there, some sweet peppers there, some eggplant there, my asparagus bed, and we have a hot pepper bed, which is that green one. And over here, okra. So that's what's going on over there. I am currently in my little wheelie chair. If you don't have one of these and you have low beds, they are lovely. If you've been following along, you know we were in a pretty bad car accident 3 years ago, and I don't have the spine. I used to. I just had a back surgery in November. So, over there. Okay, so I have not completely cleaned up. I'm picking my battles. Right now my battles are to get stuff in the ground. So I cleared the lower half of my trellises, of my remesh, so that I could get stuff started, because it's going to take 8 to 10 days for the beans to sprout. I have beans in the ground as of yesterday, starting where that baggie is. I have to label those. And under each one of the grids, each one of the posts of the grid. So there's beans. That bed is 24 feet long. And then I have winter squashes. Those got put in either yesterday or the day before. And I'm glad I started them from seed because I'd be so behind if I didn't. So I got a head start that way. So here's what we're doing today. I have a bucket of compost. For those of you that haven't seen my garden auger video, that's what that is. It's a screw gun or drill, depending on where you're from. There is a, 3-foot shaft, 2-foot shaft on there. And let's see if I can get this to zoom in because I can't get up with a baby on my back that easily. If you can see it through the tomato, there. It drills holes. It's a big giant garden drill, basically. Hold on, my love. And so it drills holes. So while wearing a baby, it's easy to do. And I went through and I drilled my holes. Now I'm taking my compost and dropping a little bit in the bottom of the hole. As you can see, my tomatoes are not nearly as big as normal. So I'm kind of filling up the bottom and taking off my lower leaves. Like I'll take one more lower leaf off of that one. Let's get here. Now you can see. Actually, no, I'll take 2 more lower leaves off. And then I will bury it all the way down to get it in the ground. If you see those little fuzzies at the base of the plant, those are potential roots. So the more potential roots, the stronger the plant. So we are going semi-deep depending on the plant. So this only applies to tomatoes, and that is the filaments, or the little fuzzies. So this is a vintage wine tomato. As you can see, I think I put it in the cup about 2 weeks ago, and look how good the roots look after 2 weeks. So they are very happy to be in the cups. They're going to be even happier to be in the ground, or in the holes. So I'm going to drop it in, and I kind of drop it in a little hard just to kind of shake up the roots. Kind of push it down a little bit, get some of the air out. And then I am going to get more compost. Billy. No, be nice. And it's up to you. Billy, no. No. How you want to do this, if you want to fill it with water after you're done, you can make a little well so it goes in pretty quick. If your compost is already wet, you probably don't need to do that. These beds are actually pretty saturated on the lower half. I figured that out yesterday after I dug all the holes. I had a lot water pooling. So, and then as they grow, I don't think I'm going to prune as heavily at the lower end this year. Usually I prune until it gets to the wire, and I'm not going to do that this year. And here's the lower half of the wire. I'm going to let stuff go crazy. And once the suckers establish what they are doing, then I will cut off water leaves. But only when I have enough water leaves to get enough chloroform into the plant with the sun. So that's where we are. We got a new bale, we got a bale of straw so that I can actually mulch. I'm planning on turning that into hot peppers. Hot peppers need to be planted by themselves because they could create heat in whatever they're growing next to, or just change the flavor of what they're growing next to. And I actually think this bed, at least the tomatoes have been in for at least a week, and look how tall and happy they are. So they're doing pretty good. This tomato plant I picked up I picked that one up at our local nursery, and that one already had tomatoes on it. So it was on sale for I think $2, and I went for it because clearly I'm behind. It's almost nap time, can you tell? Oh. So I have 5 more holes in here. I brought 2 more tomato plants out with me. I am probably going to pick a couple more cherry tomatoes, because at least I know I will get at least I know I'll get a faster yield, since I'm behind as usual. But better late than never. But cut me some slack. I'm 6 months pregnant, and I have a 13-month-old. That's right, you heard it here. 6 months pregnant. I'm due, what's today, the 24th or the 25th? 24th. I am due 3 months from tomorrow. So I'm using my second trimester energy to get what I can done, because this is the hardest part of gardening, is keeping plants alive until you get them in the ground. And then once they're in the ground, it's easy peasy. You just wait for them to grow, tie them up every once in a while, and harvest. Good to go. We're almost there. So in the big bed, I don't know what I'm going to put in front. I do know I'm going to put bush beans. I put trellis beans on the back over there. That bed is almost planted. The one with the squashes, the winter squash, the vining squashes. I have room for what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 more bean plants. So I'm going to go through my beans and see what other ones I really liked and grow those again. What else? I may do more eggplant. I have a ton of seedlings and plant starts that nobody bought. I planned on selling this year. I have them advertised, and I think I sold less than 10 plants. It's actually been super disappointing. So I'm probably going to grow what I have. And once I grow what I have, maybe give it to friends, sell it to people. I don't know. The harvest, that is. Oh, Billy, say hi. Hi. You're so sweet when you're not pulling that hair back there, huh? Yeah. So anyways, as you can see, my little helper is about over it. But I'm getting stuff done in spurts, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there, when it's not totally roasting. We do have a shade cloth in here, and it does help significantly with the heat. And this year we are experimenting with the compost in the holes. I haven't done that before. I imagine it's gonna do great. And what else? I did notice it was pretty hot in here. And the last 2 years that I have planted in here, my tomatoes have not done well. And I think it's because I overly prune. And out there, I let it go crazy, and they do amazing out there, outside of the shade cloth, outside of the hoop house. And so we actually are at about 5,200 feet. We're just shy of a mile closer to the sun than sea level. And that puts us at a more intense sun rating. So shade cloth is very important here, as far as keeping plants cooler and happier. So hopefully this is a good cucumber year, because I am now feeding that guy. And hopefully this is a good winter squash year. I didn't get any, what did I get last year? I did not get Echo. Leave it. I didn't get any acorn squash. I got one acorn squash. I didn't get any butternut. Last year was a bad squash year, so I did put compost in all of those holes, and I'm hoping that we do better. Also, I put compost in this middle bed and tilled it in. My husband did anyways. Oh, and the other garden that we didn't use last year, we're going to use that again this year for my bushing squashes, like zucchinis and summer squashes, summer cucurbits. So with that in mind, we're getting it done. And I should be able to maintain my walkway this year, because if you saw last year, it was total chaos in here and I could not walk through here. And we got powdery mildew, which is something that I've never seen in Nevada. So that's where we are. That's what we're up to. That's what we're doing. And as you can see, my helper's back there. Oh, he's so proud of that hole he found in his face. Huh? What are you doing? Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna call it, and thank you for stopping by. Thank you for spending your time with me, and see you on the next one.